Well, hello there. It is the evening of the Christmas Eve. Technically, according to the clock, it is actually Christmas.
Oh, man.
I know. It's kind of a bummer.
You know what that means? I can't say the line I've been wanting to say all day.
What?
Tonight is the night before the dawn, before the day of Christmas. Come in and know me better, man.
Well, you still can technically say that because we haven't gone to sleep yet.
And actually, he says that at 2 a.m. on Christmas morning.
On Christmas morning.
So,
come in!
Did I already say that?
You're a little absent-minded spirit.
No, I'm a large absent-minded spirit.
Oh.
Come in!
This is Podbros. We have had an awesome day. We did 5 Christmas Eve services over at the Heights, and it was awesome. We had a blast. We got to stagehand, do some low-life fog, kind of help people around, move stuff off the stage, on the stage, doing what we do. So, once again, we are Podbros, a
production of Sound Bros Productions.
Oh man, that root beer is good.
It is.
It's good. We are on Facebook, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. This show is a little bit different because we're actually not coming at you from the normal Sound Bros Productions pseudo studio that we have. We are actually coming at you from the garage of the parentage of the Sound Bros Productions.
Indeed.
So we're set up in the wonderfully cool garage.
It is.
Because it's a balmy 63 degrees in here. It's fantastic. We love it. It's awesome. So Merry Christmas Eve, because technically this is the Christmas Eve show, and so we are Christmas Eving.
It is the night before the
It is
dawn,
the night
before the day of
Christmas.
Come in and know me better, man.
Oh, A Christmas Carol, great story. A Muppet Christmas Carol, our favorite, probably one of my favorite Christmas movies. We watch it every year. Thoroughly enjoyable. I you know what? I like that one, and then of course my ultimate favorite is the Santa Claus, because it reminds me of my grandpa. Because the first time we saw it was at Thanksgiving, one of the very first years that we were going to Thanksgiving.
Is that when we saw it? Was it Thanksgiving?
Yeah, we saw it in theaters.
Nice.
It was actually one of the very first movies I ever saw in theaters, to be honest.
That was in 94?
Whenever it came out. The year it came out. I don't know what year it came out. I think it was 94. Okay. So,
because I think it was the first year we went.
Indeed. Did you have a good time at the show today?
I had a fantastic time, to be honest with you. I do a lot of tech stuff, or at least I used to do a lot of tech stuff.
We're getting back to it.
A lot of lights and sound and video and a lot of special effects for theatrical productions and
special effects for effect. Continue. Sorry.
Anyway, and it was very enjoyable. We didn't do all of the stuff that I like to do.
We didn't do all of the stuff that we normally like to do because we're new to the family. Is the best way to put it. And so
true.
when you're joining in and you're helping out and you're
I think that's only a small part of it. I think the bigger part of it was that the schedule for setting everything up was a bit more, and we had stuff that we had planned.
Right.
And so we helped a lot, but some of the stuff that I like doing, like hanging lights, and
We didn't get to be part of that.
I didn't get to be
stuff.
part of that,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things I like to do the most. If any, it's funny when I work with people, they're like,
Wait, you enjoy this?
"Yeah, we need someone to tape all the cords down." I'm like, "I'll do it." And
Pick
they're like,
me.
"Really?" I'm like, "Yeah, give me that roll of tape." And then when they come up on stage, they're like, "Oh,
That's why you like doing this.
it's so nice up here."
Well, I got to do some of the fun things I like to do. I got to.
Well,
I got to move. I mean, of course, we're talking. So what we're discussing is the difference between pre-production and production, and then of course post-production. And so the pre and post of the hanging and taking down the lights, unfortunately, because of everything that we have going on and all of the busyness, we were. And the schedule, we didn't have the schedule, so we weren't able to schedule that in.
Yeah, to our schedule.
So we were kind of stuck, not being able to help that stuff out. But during the show, we actually did live production, but we got the opportunity this time, or at least I did. We've been doing production. I've been doing production for, I don't know what, 20 years maybe.
25 years.
25 years since I was about 14. And so it's been a bit.
Well, younger than that, but yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, what, 12, 10, 11?
Well, I mean,
We've been doing it since we were kids.
We've been doing. I mean, our parents did theater,
Yeah,
and we've been a part of that. I mean,
exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Let's be
That's
fair.
true.
We've been doing production stuff, or at least acting.
At least acting since we were born.
Yeah, since we were little kids.
But then the actual production side for I think I started learning sound from one of my friends down in Tucson, Josh Unruh, when I was, I think, 12. So that's 25 years at least.
I started doing roadie work when I was 10.
Oh, that's right, you did. But that is because I was already 20.
I had the advantage of all of my older, because I'm the fourth and you're the first.
Right. Yeah.
So I had the advantage of the older brothers already helping, and so it was easy for me to just kind of jump in and help because I had kind of seen what they were doing.
And learning it and working directly with us.
And working with you. So I started doing wrapping cords and running cable and moving the moving the heavy stuff.
We
first.
still hold the we win on the competitions. How fast can you wrap 100 foot?
30 seconds, 20 seconds, something
Something like
like that.
that, yeah.
I haven't done that in a long time.
I haven't either. We should do it again just for fun. We've got the cords. We might as well. So, so today, so I said all that to say, normally after the amount of time that we've been doing this, I'm usually either behind the soundboard or I'm consulting on the soundboard, or behind the light board or consulting on the light board, or consulting in some way where I'm, not to say that I'm at a higher level, but I'm not doing the basic stagehand stuff. And I got the opportunity to do the basic stagehand stuff today. I got the chance to, just be the guy that helps move the piano off the stage during the production, when the lights go black, and we're the guys in all black that come out and move the stuff and stand backstage and have a flashlight and help the talent get onto the stage, and then just make sure that things are going. And I got to say, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did what I normally do when I'm a stagehand, and that is do something stupid without thinking about it and end up hurting myself, which I do every time I'm on
Was that
stage.
when you did that dramatic slide across the stage?
Yeah, you do a knee slide across the stage to the piano on a stage that's not smooth. And you
I thought it was very graceful. I didn't even notice.
you skin your knee. My knee actually doesn't look too bad, but it's kind of raw right there on the front.
I did that on Monday when we were there helping before the dress rehearsal. I jumped off the stage and went to my knees.
Oh, that's right.
Off
You
of
did.
the
All
off
the way.
of the 2.5, 3. How
3
high
foot.
is that? 3
It's
foot
a
high.
3 foot. Yep.
Jumping from a 3 foot high stage to your knees would not recommend it, especially when you weigh over 300 pounds.
Well, concrete's great for that. So,
However,
my ankles are killing me.
I am
right
a
now,
professional.
But I love it.
I'm a professional at doing such things, and so I did it very gracefully. And probably, if anyone had seen me, they would have thought I did it on purpose.
I actually thought you had done it on purpose until you said something.
It actually didn't hurt
Really?
at all.
Yeah, this knee thing hurt.
Yeah,
It's the only thing today that hurt. I banged my ankle. I twisted my ankle. I did a couple of things.
The only thing that hurts right now is I have a cut on my finger, and I cannot find it.
Oh, you know what I did get to do today? We got to play with dry ice.
Oh, yeah, that was way fun.
And that is the best part ever. It's so much fun.
Oh, thank you. That's what that is.
It's a dry ice cut.
No, it's not. I cut my hand when I was messing with the smoke machine, and it's under the skin.
Ooh. So anyway, we said all of that to say we got the opportunity to sit with Pastor Ron, our friend Pastor Ron Merrill, in the back in the green room during the show, and had a great conversation with him and chatted. And he is an amazing person, and we had a blast.
And we had a great conversation with Pastor John.
And we had a great conversation with Pastor John, and just the production today and everybody that was involved, Jala and Joanne. And Kaylee's voice. Oh my gosh, she
and of course the production crew, Chris and
I mean, so who I just
Joel.
named were a lot of the talent, Zach, Jaron the drummer, Preston on keys, Eli on guitar, and I am blanking on the other guitarist's name right now. I feel like a horrible person.
Zach.
No. Zach is the one. The other guy.
Jala?
Nope. The other one.
Who's the other one?
The guy with the acoustic. I
the
can't
one
remember
in the
his
front
name.
corner.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever got his name.
I've been told it before, but I haven't. And now I feel like a horrible person. So if he ever hears this, I apologize. You were awesome today. We had great conversation all day long.
You were so awesome he didn't even remember your name.
You're just that awesome guy with the guitar. Anyway, and then they had a whole choir, and then we have a full production team. Chris and Joel and Amy was the producer in the back, and then Austin was our stage manager, and then you, and Caleb doing the stagehand stuff. We had a blast. I literally just named everybody's name.
And you and awesome. Caleb are thespians.
We are actually. I don't know if I'm still a thespian member in good standing. I would assume I am, because I became it's a lifetime membership. But honestly, I don't know if that.
I've heard it's a choice still being a thespian.
Thank you. Yes, it is a choice. I mean, not everybody gets to thespian. Not everybody gets to thes. Thes be honest.
Thesby on our way.
Thesby on our way.
Is there anyone that's the Thesby out?
Thesby out
instead of Thesby in.
Thesby in. I'm a Thesby out. Peace out.
That's what they call it down in the southern area. Thesby out.
Thesby out. It was the nizzle before Crizzle and all through the hizzle. This is the night before Christmas, the Snoop Dogg version. So, we had a great day today, and awesome. There was thousands of people came through.
We had one show. I think it was the fourth show. That we had literally
fourth show,
literally standing room only.
Yeah, 4:00. It was standing room only. They actually had to turn people away because we were over capacity.
Yep.
And so then the fifth show actually was also like on that verge or all the way through.
The monochromatic light was really cool.
Yeah, actually, that was just awesome. I mean, Pastor John did an entire sermon on how we live in a gray world and we get the opportunity for the choice of color. And he wore a pink shirt, a pink sweater that looked gray under the lights. And then when the white light was turned on, you could see the color again. It was pretty cool.
It was dramatic.
It was very dramatic. It was just, from an artsy standpoint, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Honestly, I think my favorite part of all, and I probably am very biased on this, but the part at the beginning where, what is her name?
Kaylee.
Kaylee is playing
she's saying Gloria.
The faux grand upright piano.
Yep.
And the rolling fog.
And singing.
Is under her.
She looked like she was playing a piano on a cloud. It was so cool.
I think that was my favorite part of all. It was definitely the most, not to say this the wrong way, but it was definitely the most, like, Christmassy thing of the show.
Well, and then you had all of Silent Night, and
But I mean, like, as far as like
with the candles.
traditional Christmas ish, because it's a show, and
Right.
so they're
Yeah.
they're hyping up the crowd and they're dancing around on stage and everything, and it's that's fun, and I enjoy that immensely.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not like
It's not your typical Christmas.
Well, there's something about, and maybe this is just for me. I'm sure that there's other people that feel this way, but there's something about an epic Christmas song that is just, there's the dramatic effects of it, but you're just sitting there and enjoying the song.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
Or sitting there and singing along to the song of something you know.
Well, and the other side of it, too, is that with the amount of theater that we've done, that song with the lights and how they were lined out and the smoke and the art of it is what we like.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
That's
what we
true.
like. So
And it was an epic song. It really was.
It really was. So I think that we should start at least with a little part of the Christmas story. We should read that tonight.
We should do it after the bottom of the hour, though.
In the second half?
In the second
half. Do about 15 minutes maybe of it.
Yeah.
And then for Christmas, we'll definitely read the whole story.
We may even have a dramatic reading from the founder of the feast
Ooh, tomorrow. That would be pretty cool.
because he does read the Christmas story. That is one of our traditions, is after breakfast in the morning, we read the Christmas story.
Read the Christmas story. Yep.
Now, between the classic, with the exception of Pastor John's sermon today, out of the traditional Christmas stories, which one is your favorite?
What do you mean?
Between Luke and Matthew.
Oh, Luke. I like Luke, and I like Luke because Luke is the first-hand account. It's like he was there.
Typically,
And I wonder if he was.
no, he wasn't. He definitely was not there.
Because he's too young for that, right?
No. Luke is from Rome. Luke went to Israel on behalf of
That's right. Yep, you're right.
Theophany,
You're asking the wrong person.
my dear Theophany.
Anyway,
Gosh,
I
don't
like
remember.
Luke.
Anyway, no. Normally I say Luke with most of the stuff because Luke's all of the book of Luke and then into Acts are all first-hand accounts, and then when Luke finally catches up with Paul and the disciples, it actually is Luke's first-hand account
Of what's going on. Which is awesome.
You can actually watch. It's about midway through Acts.
It switches from
they to we.
Yeah.
So, if there's anyone out there who's never read the Bible before and wants to start reading the Bible, or you've read through the entire Bible and you're thinking, I want to start reading through the Bible again, but I want to read through it a different way than I normally do.
Right.
Start with Luke. And then read Acts.
And enjoy it. And close that before it freezes.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
So,
so normally I say Luke, but there's something about maybe it's the educator in me,
okay.
maybe it's the historian in me that when
Matthew
I read
grabs you?
Matthew, it's like reading. It's more than reading a first. It's almost better than reading a first-hand account because there's a lot more of the explanation.
Right.
Because he talks about the wise men, and he draws all the connections with the prophecies.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoy that. But
As a matter of fact, when you read through Matthew, and this is one of the reasons why I like Matthew, I like the whole Bible. I think the Bible is the ultimate culmination of what a book should be.
well, and it was meant to be that way.
Right, of course. I mean, it is the word of God handed down.
It is
to
the
man.
word of God. It has to be. It has to be that.
Right.
If it is not that, we have problems. Right.
Yeah,
Like if you
absolutely.
start reading the Quran and you go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
if you're reading the
Well,
Quran,
this has three
there's a
different
problem.
interpretations of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, and
Wow.
and what's crazy
Merry
is
Christmas.
that,
I'm sorry. Excuse
seriously,
me.
bro. Good Lord over there. What's just a little side note there with the Quran. It's very interesting because you have one interpretation or two interpretations where jihad,
Yeah.
and then you have this other interpretation that there's actually a group in America right now that is their whole thing is that the Quran was misinterpreted and it was actually this peaceful book.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Yeah, well, the thing is about the Quran is that it's written in a language that has words that have three completely different meanings.
No, and that's how you can have Islam is a religion of peace.
But if you interpret it that way, and this is
if you interpret it that way,
this is what my point is. I'm not saying that Islam is not a peaceful religion or that it is a peaceful religion.
you're simply saying that there's multiple interpretations.
I'm saying that there's a lot of evidence to show that people think that it's not a peaceful religion.
Right. Anyway, that we're not talking about Islam.
And to take it there, because I'm going to, there were a lot of Christians in the Middle Ages, Christians, strong air quotes, that were following the Catholic Church that slaughtered other Christians because of the Catholic Church's interpretation of the Bible.
Right. Yeah.
And so
there's the two sides.
There is always the two sides of the
exactly.
story. And there is tons of stories of Muslim people throughout the world that have I guess thrown off the stereotype.
Right.
The negative stigma and and
have actually lived decent lives and
let's
not
be
treated
honest
their
here.
wives like garbage.
Let's be honest here.
And not following the key here is the Sharia law. They haven't followed Sharia law.
Well, let's be honest here. No, there are some that have followed Sharia law that, I mean, truthfully, the war in Iraq and Afghanistan would have not even come close to being able to function the way that it did if there weren't people in the Muslim world that were willing to set aside their differences.
Yeah, that's valid.
Because I mean you read stories about the Iraqis that joined with the Americans,
right,
to fight against Saddam Hussein.
The jihadists. And
they
Saddam
were the
Hussein,
same people that joined with the United States when Russia was attacking.
Right.
And so it's like, there are epic people everywhere.
Yeah.
And
no doubt, but that steps outside of the realm of religion and steps into the realm of decent human,
right?
Anyway. Basic decent
Anyways,
basic decent human. I'm sorry, human decency.
Are you okay over there, bud?
Yeah, I'm having a stroke. Leave me alone.
Stroke.
So anyway, off of Islam, because I don't want to discuss that.
Too late. We already did.
Too late. We already did. No,
it's only natural that we should be talking about religion on Christmas.
Of course.
Well, Christmas Eve.
And so I when it comes down to it, I like Luke and you like Matthew.
So here's a question. Since it's Christmas Day,
indeed,
technically, is it Christmas Day, or is it only Christmas Day until you've gone to sleep and woken up the next morning?
Oh, it's only Christmas Day until you've gone to sleep and woken up the next morning. This is still Christmas Eve. It doesn't matter that the clock says that it's
so what
Christmas
about that
Day.
Calvin and Hobbes?
What Calvin and Hobbes?
The Calvin and Hobbes.
Wow, I've got like the worst burps.
Good
I am
Lord,
so
man,
sorry.
that was gross. That was right into the microphone.
It was too. It was like the
one where they're sitting awake. It's Calvin and Hobbes, and they're sitting awake in the bed, and they can hear the mom and dad, but they think it's Santa.
Right.
And the dad stubs his toes, and there's an expletive.
Blank.
And he's like, "Did you write these ones down? We'll have to look them up in the dictionary later." And then after they go to bed, they both come out, and all the presents are under the tree, and they're like, "Santa was here." And Calvin looks at all the toys, all the presents, and he's like, "There isn't one here for Hobbes." And he yells, "Hey, there isn't one for Hobbes!" And his dad is like, "It's too late. Just go to sleep." And then Calvin's like, "It's okay. I'll give you the gift of being my best friend," or something like that. And they hug each other, and it's precious.
Where were we going with this?
I was wondering is it Christmas or is it still Christmas Eve until you go to sleep and wake up the next morning?
It's still Christmas Eve until you go to sleep and wake up the next
Right.
morning. That's the same rules for the day, right? It's not the next day until you go to sleep and wake up the next morning.
What about people that work overnights? Like you say, they work 10 to 7.
So if you go to work at 10 on Thursday, you worked on Thursday. You get off at 7 on Friday, you go to sleep, and then it becomes Friday.
Oh, okay. What if you don't go to sleep?
Then it stays Thursday until you go to sleep. Don't argue with me, man. It's 1:30 in the friggin' morning.
So
It's almost 1 in the morning. On Christmas.
so if
That it's not Christmas yet.
you work on Thursday night and you start
Yes.
at 10,
Right.
you get off of work at 7, and then you go to prayer in the morning and work with the door director all day, and then go to an outreach that evening, and then you go to
Sleep.
and then you work, and you're
then
doing
wake up
that until
Saturday?
like 11 until 12 o'clock at night that night, and go to sleep at 1:30 in the morning when you get home. When you wake up, is it Friday morning?
Nope. You skipped Friday and went straight to Saturday.
So there's just no Friday that week.
No Friday that week.
You're ridiculous.
Hey, I don't make these rules. It's just how they are.
It sounds like you just made up those rules just now.
Hey, I have a question for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Is there a type of bagel that can fly?
I don't know.
Maybe a plain bagel?
Oh, that's clever. What do you call a seagull that flies by the bay?
A bagel?
That's 2.
Yuck, yuck. Oh, you know what we've never told on this show? Actually, there's a couple of things we have to do.
Hold on. No.
I've got stuff running in my head. I can't lose it.
There was a guy. Okay, go ahead. I don't want you to lose it. I'm just going to tell you the funny joke. Go ahead.
First, to Stacy and Colby Rutashke, those cookies
Go ahead.
were amazing.
Even after he dumped them on the ground.
Would you? It was an accident. And I will have you know that we ate every single one of them.
That's why I said that. They were still good.
They
Even after you dumped them
were
on the ground.
amazingly delicious. Thank you so much. That was very, very nice. We really appreciate the card. Merry Christmas to you guys. That was awesome.
Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas to everyone. Also, we never said this last week, but every show last week was the number of the show we did on the number day that it was.
It was, actually.
It was the 16th show on December 16th, and the 17th on the 17th. And
Yeah.
Everybody gets the idea. Also, it's been a while, but I don't know if you know this, but every now and then, with the way that the sun moves throughout the sky, there's the solar eclipses. You know how that works, right? And so that there is another solar eclipse coming up. However, it will not be seen in North America.
Okay.
Because Epstein didn't kill himself.
So there was a sailor.
By the way,
there was a sailor who his ship was destroyed, and he was marooned on an island with no supplies at all.
Okay.
All he had was his standard issue
Wilson.
it was his standard issue Siemens calendar.
Okay.
And he was stranded there for days, weeks even.
I can feel myself hating you already.
And
but I can't get. I'm trying.
When
to
the
work
Navy
I'm trying to work
finally
it.
found him, he was in great condition. They couldn't figure it out. Turns out he survived from all the dates on the calendar.
You're so stupid.
And not only that.
Oh my god! Shut up.
Not only that.
What the freaking crap, man?
He even had dessert because of the Sundays.
Oh my gosh. Did you read this?
No.
Or did you make that up?
No, I didn't. Neither.
Where did you hear this?
I don't know. Maybe you should figure it out since you say that it's the best of all of them.
I didn't say that was the best.
No. The thing that's from, you always say that's the best one. But yet clearly you aren't as much of a fan of it as I am.
Is this Better Off Ted?
Nope. See, I changed some of the story, so it was deceptively
so it was
confusing.
deceptive. Okay. Did you know that Chuck Norris? Because there's something this show needs is ridiculous Chuck Norris jokes. Because I love Chuck Norris jokes.
Ordinarily, I'd interrupt you and tell you it's the bottom of
It
the
is
hour.
the bottom of the hour.
But you're about to tell a Chuck Norris joke, and I'm concerned about him appearing and punching me.
Okay, fair enough. So Chuck Norris can start a fire with 2 ice cubes.
Wow. Did you know that Chuck Norris has a fist under his beard?
Really? It's his chin fist?
Did you know that Chuck Norris doesn't actually cut his hair ever?
No?
He just stares at it in the mirror and dares it to grow.
Nice. I like that one.
He also doesn't cut his grass either. Does
No?
the same thing.
Does the same thing? Do you know that once Chuck Norris had a race with time?
Yeah.
Yeah, time is still running.
Wow. Do you know that ghosts exist because Chuck Norris kills people so fast that death can't keep up with it?
Ah, that makes sense.
Did you know that every 2 seconds in the United States someone needs blood, all due to Chuck Norris?
Did you know that Chuck Norris can kill 2 stones with 1 bird?
Wow. Did you know that 1 drop of Chuck Norris's sweat can take the shuttle to the moon and back again?
Oh,
Also,
that's
1 tear can cure cancer. Too bad he never cries.
we're just gonna rattle off Chuck Norris jokes. Do you know that Chuck Norris can walk on water? He's actually not God. The water's just too afraid to get him wet.
Nice.
Yeah. You know, if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, smells like a duck, but Chuck Norris says it's a giraffe, it's a giraffe.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
I haven't either.
That's great.
You know Chuck Norris can strangle you with a cordless phone?
Yeah. You know, Chuck Norris once played a round of tennis with a brick wall and won.
Ooh.
He also played roulette with a fully loaded revolver. Chuck Norris once got bit by a king cobra, and after 3 agonizing days, the cobra died.
You know, some people wear Superman underwear. Superman wears Chuck Norris underwear. On the other hand, Chuck Norris doesn't wear underwear.
Because he's commando.
Yeah.
Wait, is he
Come on.
commando?
I don't know. No, Schwarzenegger is.
He's the ranger.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is commando. Don't think about this
A
too much.
handicapped parking sign does not signify that this spot is for handicapped people. It is actually, in fact, a warning that the spot belongs to Chuck Norris and that you will be handicapped if you park there.
That's good. That's good.
Chuck Norris once had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, his heart lost.
Yeah, nice.
Chuck Norris can speak Braille.
Gosh. I heard the dinosaurs all went extinct because of the Chuck Norrisaurus.
Oh?
Yeah. You know nunchucks used to be called something else,
Really?
but nobody knows who Bob is, so.
Nunchucks.
Yeah, they used to be called nun bobs.
Did you know that the chief export of Chuck Norris is pain? Yeah. Chuck Norris doesn't check the time. He decides it. Chuck Norris once beat the sun at a staring contest.
Nice. Did you know that Chuck Norris jokes originally started out as Vin Diesel jokes?
Did they really?
Yeah.
Did they really? For real?
Mm-hmm. But it turned out that Vin Diesel wasn't Chuck Norris.
Nice. That was good. It was good. Did you know that if Chuck Norris was a Spartan in the movie, it would have been called One? Oh, hey,
Right.
just a side note here. Software update will be auto-installed.
I
Because
think my iPad said that too. Hey, it's the bottom of the hour.
we're 5 minutes past the bottom of the hour.
No, it's the bottom of the hour now because we finished with our Chuck Norris jokes. So now it can be the bottom of the hour. This is Podbros, a production of Sound Bros
Productions. Chuck Norris doesn't get frostbite. Chuck Norris bites frost. Sorry, I just wanted to read that last one. Chuck Norris lost both of his legs in a car accident.
Yeah?
Yeah, he walked it off.
You know, Chuck Norris was born in a log cabin he built with his own hands.
True. That one doesn't work for me.
You know, Chuck Norris, The Rock, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger, and Mr. T all walked into a bar, and the bar exploded out of sheer awesomeness.
I could see that. Oh, well, should we tell women jokes?
No, but we should tell this one joke that is slightly off color.
Ooh, I like off-color jokes. Actually, we never finished the bottom of the hour.
Chuck Norris once visited the Virgin Islands.
They are now just the islands.
It's the bottom of the hour.
So ridiculous. We're Podbros,
A
a
production
production
of
of Sound Bros Productions.
Productions. We're on iTunes,
Google Play,
Podbean,
Facebook,
Spotify.
Yeah, we're on Spotify and iTunes.
I said iTunes first.
Did you say iTunes?
And Podbean.
And Podbean. Thank you to everybody who's listening. Thank you to all the new listeners. We've got a couple of new listeners now. To everybody in recovery, hang in there. Keep doing it. You're doing it.
You're
doing it, Peter. In case you ever have any questions on the random quotes from movies, feel free to drop us a line and ask, and we can tell you which one it is. That particular one is from Hook, starring Robin Williams, one of the best actors ever. And we're sad he's gone. But yeah, it's the big guy.
Yep.
And it's a great movie. And we have fun with it.
Yep.
So
I lost my marbles.
yeah, he lost them good. Oh man. So well,
The weather.
the weather. You're doing the weather. I don't have the weather up. Did you find the
I have the
NOAA
weather
site?
right here. Yeah, it was like way down the page.
I have to blow my nose.
No one's stopping you.
Well, I don't
So
want to
right
leave
now-
while you're doing the weather.
Right now,
because I
it's-
want to know what the weather
Right now
is.
it says that it's clear.
Okay, I'm leaving.
Sometimes the NOAA site is weird.
Hello.
It says it's clear right now, but it's clearly cloudy outside.
Actually, it was clear earlier.
Clear-ish. It's got those weird mountain low clouds. Anyway, tonight it's supposed to snow and rain, and there's supposed to be areas of fog. And then Christmas Day it's supposed to be snow. Christmas night it's supposed to be snow. Thursday it's supposed to be snow. Friday it's supposed to be snow. Saturday it's supposed to snow and then be clear and sunny halfway through the day. And then there's a slight chance of snow on Monday, and then it looks like it'll be clear and sunny. My guess is the slight chance of snow on Monday will not be snow at all. It'll just be some clouds, and there won't be any snow. It looks like total nighttime accumulation overnight is less than half an inch possible. New snow accumulation less than half an inch possible. New snow accumulation less than half an inch possible. Little to no snow accumulation. No new snow accumulation less than an inch possible. So we're going to get a bunch of millimeters of snow.
Yeah, so no snow now?
No, it's going to snow. But as I said multiple times today, it's not nearly cold enough.
Yeah, it's really not.
And the problem, see, the biggest issue here is that...
You're the problem.
Actually, no, seeing
no,
right
you're
now.
not.
I see exactly what the problem is. The problem right now is that the dew point is 30 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
And with the wind chill, when the wind is blowing, is 30 degrees Fahrenheit. And as we discussed yesterday...
Did we discuss this yesterday?
We did a little bit.
Okay.
About the wind chill making it cold enough for precipitation. However, in this case, because of the fact that
Let's take a moment.
Okay.
So, that sound you hear in the background is the mother.
You can't run away.
You can't run
Come
away
back.
now.
The heck?
We've been trying to get her. We were going to have her be on the show today, and then she wasn't interested. So
anyway,
now here she is, and now she's gone. And anyway, continue.
It's just not cold enough. It's just not going to be cold enough. So the less than half an inch, less than an inch, less than half an inch, less than an inch, less than half an inch, less than an inch.
Hey, awesome! She brought us a toothbrush.
Mom. Hi. What do you have for soap in the bathroom?
Say Merry Christmas to everybody. Come over here and talk right there and say Merry Christmas. You don't have to get close.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yay!
You did it.
That was the Podbros mom. She's awesome.
Just in case you forgot your...
She brought me toothbrush and toothpaste because I forgot my toothbrush and toothpaste because we're doing the Christmas tradition of spending the night at the parents' house for Christmas.
So how do you brush your teeth all the time?
I brush my teeth every day.
I do not brush my teeth.
Ever?
Ever.
That's kind of gross.
No, what I do is I actually use a rag.
Okay, so let's clarify. I clean my mouth by brushing my teeth. You clean your mouth by using a rag.
Yeah, I wipe my teeth off.
You wipe your teeth off. It's the same thing. It's just not nearly as abrasive.
Yeah, that's
right?
the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it works. I just got into the habit of brushing my teeth. I actually brush my teeth on average 2 or 3 times a day. But I am that that little bit of OCD where I can't, if my mouth tastes fuzzy, right? Then I get uncomfortable and I can't handle it. So
I usually use a combination of the wiping the teeth and I get
now, just so that we're on the same page, this is not the same washcloth that you use in the shower. Because that would be crappy.
That's the washcloth that you use, so definitely not. Bye, Mom.
See you later.
Anyway, I'm just saying, I don't.
But you clean your teeth.
I do clean my teeth
clean your mouth.
on a very regular basis.
Do you have cavities?
No.
Yeah. See, there you go.
No. As a matter of fact, it's really funny. The reason I started doing it was because the dentist, I would go to the dentist and he would be like, "Oh, your teeth look really good. You must brush all the time." And I was like, "No, I just wipe my teeth off." And then I realized, because I don't know, maybe I was watching a conspiracy video or something, but they were talking about when you inconsistently brush your teeth, because that's the issue that I have with brushing my teeth.
Is not doing it all the time.
Is that it's inconsistent with brushing. With
Oh,
wiping,
okay.
It's one of those things when you wipe your teeth off, you don't have to just use a rag. You can use a paper towel,
yeah,
or something like that. And so for me, it's like, if I'm somewhere, I can just grab a couple paper towels and do it real quick, and it's not a big deal. And so I was reading somewhere that if you inconsistently brush your teeth, it actually causes more cavities than the regular teeth brushing. And I don't know that that's true or not, but I have noticed that since I stopped brushing my teeth and started doing this teeth wiping process,
yes,
I haven't gotten cavities.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because I actually got cavities when I was younger, when I was very inconsistently brushing my teeth.
Okay, so then the question is the breath. Does the breath change?
Probably.
Because my breath, if I don't brush my teeth, is you can't be in the same room as me. I will kill you with my breath.
I get bad breath.
Well, I mean, there's good gum out there and, stuff like that.
That's the thing is that I use gum a lot. I will a lot of times use gum.
Boy, we've covered the gambit in this show. Good Lord.
Yeah.
We're on teeth.
We are.
And brushing or not brushing. So are you team? So here's the question. Are you team brush your teeth or team not brush your teeth?
Correction.
Are you
No. Are you team brush your teeth, brush your teeth, or wipe your teeth?
Right.
I am not condoning not taking
also,
care of your teeth.
Do not confuse. Make sure that if you are a teeth wiper, please don't brush your butt.
Really?
Wow, I just wanted to go there. Why not?
Why?
Because it's the opposite, right?
No.
Like you.
No.
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 Yeah.
No.
Oh, well, I thought it was funny.
No.
It's my thing on the show to do something crappy.
Apparently it is. It's a little bit more.
Is it too far?
Than normal.
Too far?
A lot.
Oh, come on. It's just like a hairbrush.
Nope.
Or a shower brush.
Okay. All right. We're gonna move along past this subject on to another subject. Okay, big guy?
Why? There are certain people that will laugh. I will get text messages about how it was funny.
You know what?
Maybe not. It is also 1 o'clock, past 1 o'clock in the morning. And this is the reason why people don't do shows like this in the middle of the night, because you can't think straight and you say odd, random things. Of course, our show is all odd, random anyway.
That is true. So, it's Christmas Eve.
So, we have to finish the question. Are you team brush or wipe?
Yeah.
On your teeth?
And just to be clear, just to reiterate, I am not condoning not cleaning your teeth.
We just do it in different ways.
Because wooden teeth and mule teeth are the worst thing ever.
What are mule teeth?
Just ask George Washington.
Whoa. Reel it back. What are mule teeth?
Teeth from a mule.
That you put in your own mouth?
Yeah, George Washington.
Oh, and I went too far with something else. That's disgusting.
I'm not saying that that's not disgusting. I'm saying clean your teeth, because that's the alternative.
Ugh. I don't even... How does that even work?
Have you ever seen pictures of George Washington?
Mules have, like, really big teeth, though.
Yeah. You cover multiple teeth at once. Might not have been.
I'm having a hard time visualizing.
I know that he had wooden teeth. It might not have been mule teeth. I know he had there was a certain animal that he did use the teeth from.
Because his teeth rotted out of his head?
Yeah, his teeth rotted out of his head. It was actually a very common thing. If you look at pictures of the Founding Fathers, a lot of times the reason why they look so serious is not because they were sitting there for a long time having their picture painted.
Because they keep their mouths closed.
It's because they kept their mouths closed. And because they were in somewhat of a certain amount of pain with their mouths.
Really?
Because of the...
awkwardness of...
Well, the lack of hygienics as far as teeth healthiness went.
Well, I mean, in that case, we are light years ahead of that. I mean, we have soap and we have regular bathing. I mean, in Rome it was what? Or no, not Rome.
England?
In England,
once a year.
Once a year. Oh my gosh!
And that was upper class.
Yeah, it was. Well, what was the place that it was considered? It was considered incorrect to bathe.
Yeah, it was England.
Mom has the best soap. We just found out.
Yeah, it was actually in most of Europe. It was considered unholy.
That's it.
That's
what it was.
And mostly it had to do with the fact that they had no germ theory. They had no concept of, if you're taking a dump upstream, it fouls up the water.
Right.
Which is actually
so don't
something
pee in the stream, right?
It was actually something that wasn't really fleshed out until the Civil War, where.
Well, I mean, that was what would happen. It would get into the food, right? It would get into the food stores.
More than getting into the food. This is, and of course here we are talking about crappy stuff again, but
okay. Well, this one wasn't
with the Civil War, you had the United States had gotten to a point where you had men of science that were actually doing legitimate science, legitimate observational science, and so you also had large groups of people concentrated in one area in regiments.
Right.
And so you have, so you've got this doctor or whatever, this scientifically thinking person, and they're sitting there watching all of the horses from the cavalry are upstream going to the bathroom. And all of the soldiers from Squad 6 are all taking a shower downstream.
In poo.
And the next day, they're all in...
The infirmary.
The infirmary with...
scurvy. Or whatever it is.
It would have been a stomach disease, probably something like diarrhea or something like that.
Right.
That's typically what you get from.
Well, because your body can't reprocess the bacteria.
Yeah, that's the idea. It's the kind of sickness you get when you don't wash your hands from going to the bathroom.
Right. I
That's what
gotcha.
they would have gotten.
I gotcha.
And he said, hey, I saw this happened. And then he saw it again and said, oh, look, the same thing happened again.
So let's swap those.
No, let's have a spot that everyone goes to the bathroom that's not near the water source.
Ah.
And so that's why they started digging. You dug your latrine.
Away-
Latrine duty. That's where that comes from. What's your job? My job.
Did you just say duty?
I did. Duty. Duty. Your job is to dig the spot where everyone uses the bathroom, you know? And so that a lot of the Civil War was that kind of science. And we actually get our concept of modern hospitals where you have everything's white and you have standardized medicine for everyone and you have all sorts of different things
Well,
like that.
if it's white, then you can see where there's a problem.
Exactly, that's the point. Because a lot of times
And
the
then
doctors
when,
would...
yeah, but they didn't quite put the two together into washing their hands until what point?
No, it was around the same time because you had Pasteur in Europe.
Right.
Who was talking about you had bacteria, and if you didn't wash your hands and change your clothes,
Right.
With Pasteur, what he was watching was he would watch the doctor would do an autopsy and then go deliver a baby,
Right.
and the baby would die,
Or have serious issues.
and he was like, if you
Or the mother would die.
or the mother would die, or both.
Right.
If you wash your hands and change your clothes, when you go from the autopsy to delivering the baby, ta-da!
Yeah, the baby's fine.
Because a
Everybody's
dead
happy.
body is full of a lot of things that are
Okay,
bad.
so let's circle this back around because we were talking about religion earlier, but and the Bible. So let's
Okay.
circle back around. The Bible in the Old Testament, there was specific rules for not touching dead bodies and then touching people
Right.
to the tune of days at a time.
Yep.
That you had to stay separate from people. So God gave us this stuff beforehand.
And if you look at the stuff in the Bible, when they talk about all these different things that we've now connected with medical things, if you look at them and you account for, like, for example, with touching the dead,
Right.
and you had to be atoned.
You
for
were
a certain
unclean, yes.
You were unclean, and then you had to go to the
priest.
and there was a certain amount of you had to do a certain number of things, and there was a certain amount of time you had to be separate, and then you were atoned.
Yeah, but it was and so people look at that as a religious thing, but it wasn't.
But if
it
you-
was a scientific thing.
If you put it in the concept of science,
Right. You had to go to the priest and then be separated from everybody so that all of that nasty bacteria and stuff
Died.
wouldn't spread. It would die.
it would die off, or you would take a shower and it would clean it off.
And that's why certain aspects of life were separate from the people. You would go away for a week or you would disappear for, if there was somebody died in the house, you had to burn everything and,
or
and
if,
separate
they
yourself
found,
from the week.
in the case of the one of my favorite cases of this, which is actually something that they have quantified in the 20th and 21st century, is leprosy.
Right.
So with leprosy, when they moved into the land of Canaan, where modern day Israel is now, Israel and Jordan
Right.
was ancient Israel.
Right.
Right? When they moved into the land, they essentially conquered areas that had houses built already, whole villages and towns and cities built.
Right.
And if they ever found any idols in the house, they had to had to purge everything in the house.
Right.
And they had to go present themselves to the priest to make sure that they were clean. Well, you look at that as just, here these people are being ridiculous and religious. But yet, here in the 20th and 21st century, they've discovered that leprosy is a kind of a bacteria fungus type thing that grows on metal.
Really?
And so you had these metal or wooden idols in the home, and a lot of times they didn't have them out in display. A lot of times they would hide, depending on what religion you were.
Yeah, it was behind the cabinet.
They would
or
hide it in the
door.
wall or something like that. And so here it is. Here's this metal idol or this wooden idol or this half metal, half wooden idol, and it's sitting in the wall where it's moist and damp. Perfect environment for growing bacteria.
Right.
And then you find it and you expose it to the air.
And now people have leprosy.
And if you don't immediately leave the house and burn the whole house so there's nothing left, which is the best way to get rid of bacteria is to burn it,
Right.
you could get leprosy from it. And so now they've actually gotten to the point where they can actually stop. It's not a cure because the leprosy actually damages your body permanently.
That's fun.
But it is they actually do have a treatment that can prevents it actually kills kills the bacteria in your body. It kills the leprosy in your body. It's actually a crazy epidemic in India because all these people that get leprosy get a special disability for being on leprosy, and they actually will refuse to take the cure because they look like they have leprosy, because what's damaged is damaged, but they can't get, so they won't be able to get jobs, and then they won't be on disability, so they're stuck in the middle. So,
Well, and that's socialized medicine, right?
well, I mean, to a certain extent, India has kind of a unique setup because of their, you have two very diverse religions. Actually,
Right.
three very diverse religions, all housed in one country, along with a religion that's essentially a refugee religion
Right.
because they all fled Tibet. You know,
Right. Yeah. Okay, so we are getting to the end here.
We are.
And we did say that we were going to do a little bit of the story here. So I'm going to start with Luke 1, verse 26, right?
I mean, you're not going to sit here and read all the genealogies?
Well, with the first part was the genealogy, and of
joking,
course
Luke.
Zechariah.
I'm not going to read the genealogy.
Why not? People want to hear me do that, by the way.
Or we
Or
could
anyone
just
do that.
explain what the genealogies are.
Well, we'll jump in. We'll explain that tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. So Luke 1, verse 26. Now in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent by God to the city of Galilee, named Nazareth, to a virgin betrothed to a man whose name was Joseph of the house of David. The virgin's name was Mary. And having come in, the angel said to her, "Rejoice, highly favored one, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women." But when she saw him, she was troubled at his saying, and considered what manner of greeting this was. Then the angel said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And behold, you will conceive in your womb and bring forth a son, and you shall call his name Jesus. He will be great, and he will be called the Son of the Highest, and the Lord God will give him the throne of his father David, and he will reign over the house of Jacob forever, and his kingdom there will be no end." Then Mary said to the angel, "How can this be, since I have not known a man?" And the angel answered and said to her, "The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Highest will overshadow you. Therefore also the Holy One who is to be born is to be called the Son of God. Now, indeed, Elizabeth, your relative, has also conceived a son in her old age. And this is now the 6th month for her who is called barren. For with God nothing will be impossible." Then Mary said, "Behold, the maidservant of the Lord. Let it be to me according to your word." And the angel departed from her.
Can we give a context note?
By all means, and that's where I'm going to stop anyway.
Zechariah and
Zacharias and
Elizabeth
could not
couldn't
have
have
children,
kids.
and they were
Zacharias it was his turn
he was
to be
the high priest.
It was his turn to go in and sacrifice.
Right, he was the not high priest,
Not the high priest.
the sacrificial priest.
They would draw lots.
Right, and each one would go in once a year,
Yeah, once a year they would go in.
and it was his year.
And it was his year to go, and he had drawn lots for that year. And he went in, and the angel of the Lord showed up.
Yep.
Was the angel of the Lord that showed up?
Yeah, it was the angel of the Lord, and told him
No, it's important to understand that there's a difference between
God showing up and the angel of
no,
the
no,
Lord.
no, between the angel of the Lord showing up and a specifically named angel.
Which this was Gabriel.
And was it the angel of the Lord that showed up, or was it Gabriel that showed up?
Well, we're going to find out, and we're going to go over our time a little bit to find out, because accuracy is everything in this.
Especially in this case, because, as you know, the angel of the Lord is Jesus.
Oh, right.
When it talks about in the Old Testament the angel of the Lord,
So it was that while he was... Okay, so this is Luke 1, verse 8.
Okay.
So it was that while he was serving as priest before God in the order of his division, according to the custom of the priesthood, his lot fell to burn incense
See?
when he went into
Casting
the
lots.
temple of the Lord. And the whole multitude of the people was praying outside at the hour of incense. Then an angel of the Lord appeared to him, standing on the right side of the altar of incense.
An angel of the Lord, not the angel of the
Not
Lord.
the angel, an angel. So it was not necessarily Gabriel. No, it wasn't Gabriel, and it wasn't Jesus.
Because it would have specified.
It was an angel. And when Zacharias saw him, he was troubled, and fear fell upon him. But the angel said to him, "Do not be afraid, Zacharias, for your prayer has been heard. And your wife Elizabeth will bear you a son, and you shall call his name John. And you will have joy and gladness, and will rejoice at his birth, for he will be great in the sight of the Lord, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink. And he will also be filled with the Holy Spirit, even from his mother's womb. And he will turn many of the children of Israel to the Lord their God, and he will also go before him in the spirit and power of Elijah to turn the hearts of the fathers to their children," quote unquote, and the disobedient to the wisdom of the just, to make ready a people and prepare the Lord. And Zacharias said to the angel, "How shall I know this? For I am an old man, and my wife is well advanced in years." And the angel answered and said to him, "I am Gabriel, who stands in the presence of God.
There it is.
And was sent to speak to you and bring you these glad tidings. But behold, you will be mute and not able to speak until the day these things take place, because you did not believe my words, which will be fulfilled in their own time." And we are going to end there. This is Podbros. This is the Christmas Eve show. Merry early Christmas. We will say Merry Christmas again. We are on everything.
iTunes.
Podbean, iTunes, Facebook,
YouTube.
Google Play, YouTube,
YouTube.
Spotify.
Google Play, Spotify.
And thanks for listening. The subject matter when it's late like this goes all over the map, but we enjoyed it, and we hope you enjoy it too. We hope you learned something. Because
Wait. There's one thing we forgot.
what?
Tomorrow night,
What about tomorrow night?
Christmas on the
Oh,
Air.
the Christmas on the Air
Potter's
show
House, 7:30.
at the Potter's House at 7:30.
It'll be awesome.
Yeah, go there because it's going to be good. It's going to be as good as tonight was, or today was at the Heights.
Hopefully,
It'll be really good.
We'll see.
So,
I'm
yeah.
not as involved in that, so I can't say for sure.
Right. So, but
We can only hope.
the Podbros Padre is.
He is. So at least
So,
that part will be good.
At least that part will be good.
And the first song is pretty epic because that's the only part I've heard. So
Is it?
I can't say it for anything else, but the first song is pretty epic.
Awesome. So here we are once again.
So anyway,
We hope you learned something.
Because if you're not learning,
You're dying.
dying.
So stay alive and
And Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.